Today we're going to talk about 3 ways to stretch your quads. What are the quads? Well, they're the 4 muscles that are on the front of your thigh and they attach up to the front of your pelvis. Because you sit all day like this, they can get kind of short up near the top. And because you never ever bend your knee all the way, they get pretty short at the bottom. They lose the ability to extend, to be flexible, and that reduces your ability to do things like get hip extension for when you need to sprint or even just walk. So you end up looking something like this because your quads are so short. Also, you can end up with hip pain because your quads are so short and everything is out of whack and imbalanced. So today we're going to go through a couple stretches that'll help you unlock these tight quads. This is a topic that's near and dear to me because my quads can get pretty darn tight, and even right now they're super stiff because I was doing a bunch of leg workouts and it's not good. But enough about me. If you're ready, let's get ready to think right, move right, and feel right. So let's start off with the easiest option, which doesn't involve a belt or a strap. You're just gonna stand in front of a chair. You're gonna put your foot up onto the seat, and then you're going to tilt your pelvis posteriorly so your tailbone is being pulled down towards the floor, which is gonna put a little tension onto the quads. And you can start lowering yourself down and also leaning back a little bit. When you lean back, make sure it's not just your upper and mid spine that are doing it. You want to tilt everything back so that the quads really take it. Now, this can be a little bit hard to balance, so you might want to hold on to something, maybe another chair, maybe your desk, countertop, whatever, and then lean yourself into it to get that stretch on the quads. You're trying to get your butt and your heel to kiss each other if you can, but if you're really stiff, you're not gonna be able to. Some of you might find that, oh man, it's already so tight, ow, 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 and the surface of the chair is maybe not soft enough or it's too low. So you can always put something like a yoga block under there to give you a little more padding, or to raise the height to get you some more stretch in there if you feel like you need a little more. And then again, you're just lowering yourself down, leaning back a little bit, lowering down, leaning back, getting that stretch through the front of the thigh. You don't want to feel this in the knee, not at the knee joint, but rather in the muscle bellies, even up higher towards the hip. That's all good. Just focus on keeping the abs engaged, squeezing this butt cheek, and posteriorly tilting to get the stretch. And you definitely want to do this on both sides. If you feel like one side is stiffer than the other side, then spend some extra time on that stiffer side. You want to be doing about 30 to 60 seconds and do 2 or 3 sets so that your quads get a chance to learn that you want them to lengthen. Now, what if you don't like standing and doing this, feels too awkward and too unstable? Let me show you another option. For this next quad stretch option, I'm gonna ask you to do a few things in preparation. First, click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. From now to the end of 2024, I am giving 1 cent to the Wounded Warriors Project for every single like and every new subscriber that we gain. So please help support me and support the Wounded Warriors Project by hitting the like and subscribe buttons right now. Next, you're gonna need to get a belt, some sort of strap, a yoga strap, even a normal wide belt that you have in your closet is fine. And you're going to just put it right around your foot like so. And then you're going to have it pulling like this. So you can lie down on your side and just pull your foot towards your butt like so. Maybe you actually need to see this from behind. So you're gonna have it around your foot. You bring the strap right up around your shoulder and you're pulling your foot towards your butt like so. Again, you want to keep the butt cheek squeezed on the side that you're stretching. You want to think about posteriorly tilting the pelvis, and you want to feel that stretch across the front of the thigh here. Up near the hip is fine, but do not pull so hard that you feel tension or pain around the front of your knee. And of course, you're going to do this on both sides, so make sure you put that on the other leg, pull it up and around, and enjoy that stretch. Make sure you feel that through the front of the thigh. If one side feels stiffer or tighter than the other, then make sure to do some extra for that stiffer side. And now let's look at a more intense quad stretch option. For this, you're gonna need a cushioned surface or multiple cushions to put under your knee as you do the quad stretch. So you're gonna be near a wall. You're gonna put your knee kind of close to the wall. You don't have to get it right up against just yet, but when you start somewhere like a few inches away from the wall is fine. And then before you do anything, you're just gonna try to bring your hips forward towards the floor. So that's going to give you a little bit of a stretch going through the front of the thigh here. If that's already enough of a stretch for you, Great, just keep hanging out there, enjoy that stretch. You're squeezing the glute on the side that you're stretching. You're really pushing towards the floor. You can also twist a little bit to access some of the other muscles of the front of the hip, like the TFL and the glute min, and you just get into that stretch. You can also just keep going straight down into it. You might find it helpful to have a little more leverage with like a block or some extra cushioning or a chair to help you balance. Then as you get better at this stretch, or when you want to just change things up a little bit, you can bring the other foot up like so, hold on to something to help you balance if you need it, and start working your way to a vertical position. So this is going to intensify the stretch a lot. Keep that butt cheek squeezed on this side, keep the abs engaged to create posterior pelvic tilt and stretch out that thigh muscle there. You can bring yourself up towards the wall. Use something to help you balance if you need it. Squeeze the glute. Ah, feel that stretch in the quad. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's good. Once you're here, you can even do things like bend a little bit to the side to feel even more stretch all through your, oh, good lordy. But please do not rush to get to this position. You don't want to feel your knee exploding. You don't want to feel any horrible tearing sensations. It should be stretched through the bellies of the muscle. So if it feels like too much, it is too much. Go to the beginning position. Stay there. When you feel ready to get a little more intense, you can, but don't force yourself into the most intense positions. If you can't get here, if this doesn't feel right for you, do one of the other options that I already showed you earlier in this video. Now, one problem you might encounter while doing this stretch is that you can't bring your foot forward because this hip doesn't have the flexibility, or also this hip might not have the flexibility either. So one thing you can do is elevate this knee. So you can use extra cushions to bring that knee up, and that'll free up some space so that you can actually bring this leg forward. Just make sure you don't do it on a precarious setup like this. Use nice, flat, firm, and stable cushions, not a pad on top of a yoga block that's wobbling around. So then that gives you more freedom to get up and really focus on the stretch on this side. By the way, that little elevation tip also works when you're doing something like a groin stretch and you need to get your leg out and you're trying to stretch out your inner thigh muscles, and you need a little elevation so that you can feel the stretch in the right place without jamming and pinching all over your hip. It's a tip that I talk about in the Healthy Hips program, which I invite you to check out. Go to uprighthealth.com/DIY. It is a full-fledged, very comprehensive hip health program that'll help you rebuild your hips at home. Check it out, uprighthealth.com/DIY. Whatever variation of the quad stretch that you choose, make sure that you're doing it consistently and that you're holding your stretches long enough. 30 seconds is pretty much a bare minimum unless you're really fresh to stretching, in which case you could do shorter, but at least build yourself up to doing 30 seconds and then 60 seconds. You want to spend at least that amount of time allowing the muscles to learn how to lengthen, and if you can do longer, that's great. Just make sure you don't go in like 10 minutes right off the bat, because you will injure yourself. So around a minute, 2 minutes is good, and then do 2 to 3 sets per side, and do that 2 to 3 times a week or more if you feel like it's helping you. Just remember not to cripple yourself with soreness. When you're first starting off with any new exercise, remember that slow is safe and fast is foolish. And of course, don't forget to do both sides and spend extra time on the side that feels a little bit stiffer. So now you've got 3 options to stretch your quads. Let me know how they feel for you. Drop me a comment in the comment section down below, and be sure to check out the Healthy Hips program at uprighthealth.com/DIY. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button. It's going to help me and the Wounded Warriors Project from now to the end of 2024. I am going to donate 1 cent for every single like and every new subscriber that we get on this channel. Of course, if you subscribe, you won't miss out on future great content like this video. And if you want more free exercises to help you loosen and strengthen your hips, check these out here. That's it for this video. This is Matt Shue from Upright Health, reminding you that pain sucks, life shouldn't.